right. Welcome once again to the Lions Den. Enter the Lions Den with me, your boy Forde. We are here again to do another post-match interview, podcast, whatever you want to call it, about Chelsea. Because we love Chelsea. This is our team. Tonight I have with me some good friends. I have Mr. Keon Porter, I have Mr. Vivian Richards, and I have Mr. Ruel Fordes. And as you guys would know, that name does sound a bit like mine, but he is not related to me. At least we haven't found that connection yet. How are you guys doing this evening?
Good, man. Sick. Good.
Sick.
All right. Now, well, I know. I'm forced to say something. I'm forced to say something. We're all forced to say something, but we are in pain. But we try to commiserate with one another over the period of this podcast. Before we start though, I want to give a big shout out to our friends up at Patriots, the quality establishment they have up there in Tacarigua. Please go check them out. They have gorgeous settings up there. It is a lovely ambience, lovely staff. Keon knows about that. Remember social distancing. Remember that we are living in a time when lives are at risk. So let's not take a chance and do something that would be unsafe. Let's do the social distancing and be careful. We also want to big up our friends down at the Trinity Mall. That's the fan club. They have also a great establishment at the fan club there, and they have been very supportive with us here. Great memorabilia. Check them out at the Trinity Mall. Okay, so without further ado, let's do this. We are in pain because today was a terrible display. Terrible. We had a terrible match today. So I'll start with Ruel. Tell me, what did you think about the match today?
Well, if I had to sum it up in a few words, or one word, frustrating.
Right.
I think it's pretty much the story of the season. I think it's the worst performance of the season, but it's also the story where we really haven't been able to find that rhythm, that consistency that we would have seen in years prior. So we do have good performances, even having good performances against even the former champions, and then against sides that you think that we should really dominate. We somehow find a way to be inconsistent. So, pretty much the story of the season.
Okay. What about you, Vivian? How did you feel about the match?
Okay, well, basically, is nothing new to me in this season, in that way particularly that when teams play us deep, we have no plan B or even plan C. And our players show no heart and show no desire how to win. And basically, that's our road match this season. So inconsistency, individual schoolboy mistakes, and that sums it up for this season for us. And that's no opening agreement.
Okay. Keon, how did you feel?
Honestly, I'm at loss for words.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew going into the game, Sheffield United is the second best team in the EPL because earlier no standout stars. And they play a nice brand of football with the fullbacks and thing. But after that picture against Crystal Palace, which are one of the best defenses in the league, I thought it would have been much better than this. And like somebody else said today, other Chelsea fan, we finally see where we need to fix. And if we don't fix it, we'll be sixth.
Yeah. So
my argument was, is our young side will be inconsistent. To me, it's our overachieving side because I never expected us to be top four with our rookie coach and no transfers, but still. Like Viv said, they didn't wear their heart on the sleeve at all.
Okay.
They didn't wear their heart on the sleeve at all.
All right. Now, I don't know if you guys were able to take a look at the post-match interview with the manager. But he made the point that we had a plan and it was not adhered to. And he talked about that. He said, it was very frustrating for him because, look, we have a plan, we sit and we put this plan out to the players, and it just was not here to, and he's very frustrated by that. How do you think he's going to approach the next game? Because we seem to have been having this now for the whole season. What do you think, Vivian?
Okay, well, basically, Lamb's supporting staff need to deal with players on a one-on-one basis, because these games we losing entire season right now based on individual mistakes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And yet still, Lampard supporting staff not addressing these personal mistakes what these players making. And to me, you're a professional footballer and you miss kicking ball and daydreaming ball to hoot a mark and thing. And find these mistakes are very amateur. Right? That's on the league thing. And basically, the manager need to address this and supporting staff.
Okay.
There's something mental with these players, especially in the back four. Like a communication, or you're missing a leader, or something happening mentally.
Is that since the restart, Pulisic has been our best player.
Yeah.
And,
all right.
And going into, we have Liverpool to face. You have a FA Cup, which, to be honest, I really still hoping that we could at least pull a trophy out of the bag. How we going to do it? But as a Chelsea fan, I would believe that. I would try to go with that, wear my heart on the sleeve and say, hey, we're going to do this. But I think what Lampard did initially is really to assess this game. It was already a losing situation from 2-0 down. And I think he looked at it and he said, okay, let's pull up Pulisic. Let me see how Tammy responds. Because while we're looking at the defense, we also have a problem up front, which is that sometimes we're not clinical in front of the goal. Now, from a creative standpoint, Chelsea's probably, I think, after, and I wouldn't even say a City or Liverpool, because they have a decent midfield, but I think Chelsea probably has the best midfield on paper. In terms of performance, it doesn't always translate, but on paper, if you really compare...
He was very frustrated after the game. He said it, he showed it. I'm sure you saw it if you looked at the interview. What did you feel... what do you feel is going to happen going forward with him in terms of dealing with the team?
I agree with what Viv said in a sense. I think we need to get a new defensive coach, a defense coach, and a goalkeeping coach, because we didn't buy any centre back or anything like that when Conte leave, right? It's the same players. And when we had Conte, when we had Sarri, we had a very solid defense. So I think and I agree with what Viv say, it come down also to the coaching, right? It come down a lot to the coaching also, and that zonal marking. Whole season we see that not working for us. Why are we sticking with that?
Right.
Why are we sticking with something that is not working for us? We need to change our zonal marking, because that is where we're getting killed. We're getting killed on set plays most of the times, and we're getting killed in the air. And the biggest thing in our defense, and I can't remember who was saying it in the chat today, but the keeper, we can't blame the keeper for everything, but the keeper or a defender have to be a leader in the back there. Somebody had to take charge and take responsibility for what's going on at the end of the day. And that is what we're missing. We'll never have another JT, but we need a leader in the back there. If we had to buy one, if we had to buy a Kumbali or whatever you need, or whatever it is, we need a leader, somebody with that characteristics in order for that defense.
I want to run some stats by you guys, because I found this to be interesting going into the game. Because, post-match, we could do all kind of thing in terms of assessing what happened and whatnot. But we know that these are top-notch team, top-class team, top-shelf team, and so they would have done their homework before the game. We have Sheffield United, who have 51 points. 30 of those points they would have pulled at home. All right? And which means I think they only have lost 4 games at home all season. That was a team that was not going to be easy to go up against.
True.
Also, I want to throw into the mix that Chelsea had 60 points. We have 60 points at this time. 60 of those points, 51 points to Sheffield with 30 points at home. We have 60 points with 30 points at home. we have lost at least how many games? We've shipped 46 goals. 46 goals have been scored on us.
Most ever.
46 goals. We have scored 63 and had 46 goals scored on us.
And actually, I was reading a stat today that that's the most ever goals we ever shipped in a season since they have a vision.
That is a tremendous amount of goals.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why.
And what do you think that reason is, Roel?
I'll tell you something. Within the Chelsea, one of the reasons why, and I'm sure it probably would be the reason why we were attracted to Chelsea, was that Chelsea, at least for me, I was attracted to Chelsea because Chelsea wasn't this fancy, they didn't have this fancy football. They were very pragmatic. And what I liked about Chelsea was that despite how people would say, oh, your defensive or counter-attacking side, they used to get the job done. They were lethal in doing it. I think with the introduction of Maurizio Sarri, where we started to see glimpses of what Chelsea could look like with this fancy football, it opened up the back. And I heard somebody was portraying on the chat, they're saying, I will throw away the fancy football if we could just get back a little bit of what we had with past managers in terms of that defensive shape. And I think throughout Europe, Chelsea was feared. Even when we faced Barcelona, one of our greatest rivals, and the rivalry between the two have been really great. You find that even the Barcelona fans are not used to say, boy, we want to face Chelsea now. That's a hard side, boy. Because from a defensive standpoint, from a defensive standpoint, we used to give them real hell.
Right.
So now, I think, sides now looking at us and saying, okay, well, you're playing fancy football. Chances are that we probably wouldn't, and game that we lost, who it was that we lost to? 3-2. That was what? West Ham?
West Ham, yeah.
Right. They didn't dominate they didn't dominate the middle. All the possession, Chelsea had the possession. They were outrunning them in the middle, but then what happened? Counter-attacking, and again, individual mistakes. So that side say, well, okay, we could soak up the pressure. Let Chelsea play all the fancy football. Let them hold the possession. At this point, stats don't really matter in terms of, when I say stats don't matter, in terms of the possession. Because if you're passing the ball sideways, but you're not really, look for instance, one example. Tammy had almost, how many shots on goal he had, boy? About
4.
5.
3. 5, yeah.
About 5, right?
How much on target? Zort.
Exactly. You understand? So, and then Giroud came in late. And that is something where I was a bit baffled too, because Giroud, I know he's a bit old, but he has been when he started before Tammy, we have seen the influence. Even when he came on in the West Ham game, even though we lost, you saw how he was very direct. So I think to me, we have shipped the most goals, but it's one or two things. If we're going to be playing this fancy football, we have to find a way to tighten it up at the back. But that is what has happened. At the expense of fancy football, we have also opened up the back.
Yeah, but what I'm saying right now, our Achilles this season is when teams playing us deep, we have no plan B.
Yes, you're right.
And Lampard still emphasized on this possession football, and the same teams play us deep, which basically they give us possession of the ball and say, come on, attack us. Let me see what you have. And hence now, Lampard need to know this, that when teams playing us deep, Tammy is null and void, because Tammy is a run to the ball striker. It's not a post-up striker, because it's very rare right now. You have a centre forward who able to place back against the goal. It's very rare. Lewandowski, even Aguero, and they might just have few alone. And when he's playing deep now, you're seeing Tammy wrong fault. And Lampard need to do his homework too, because I come to believe now, like during training week now, Lampard don't have a game plan for things he facing.
No, that was an issue that I would have had during the game. I kept asking the question, what is the plan? Because we couldn't, looking at the game, we couldn't figure out what the idea was. What were they trying to do? Were they trying to break them down, pull them out, go down the wings? What was the plan? What was the plan? But I mean, the manager talked about mentality and character. If you look at the Sheffield team, they were obviously cocky. Them fellas weren't afraid of Chelsea Football Club at all.
No, them afraid that side and afraid no team. Them playing the style of football. Yeah, whole season. Yeah, that's what them is.
And they're working for them. And they're working for them. Yeah. And
so do you all
come to the point. Yeah.
Do you all feel that going forward, the slate of players that we have right now?
You have to need that word too.
Yes, true. But do you think that because I mean, all right, let's look at it from the standpoint that there are a group of players that are going to move on. So we have the Pedro and William, who it seems like they're gone, right?
Yeah.
We have Alonso, question mark. We have Ross, question mark, even though Frank making some noises about him.
Yeah.
We have Kepa might be gone too because our understanding is that the manager don't like him at all.
I will keep Kepa.
You will keep him?
Yeah. But Kepa need to learn to talk English.
Well, okay.
You need to command his defense.
Is you was making that in the chat, man?
Let me tell you something. All great keepers is marshal the defense. He needs to marshal because he's seen the whole game, you know.
Yeah.
He can see wrong man back. If you're back to, he needs to learn to marshal his defense, and if he don't do that, then he had to go.
Because last couple of games we lose. I see Kepa concede some goal and just take the ball out of the net, and it's like the hell with it. You ain't load up a boy. They say Rudiger, you're mocking up. Or ask him, man. And so I come to the point today that Kepa cannot talk English. Oh, he dumb.
Well,
there was one game I saw.
100%, but he have to command the defense. He have to do that. We can't blame him because we know the defense not together, right? The defense not together, so we know what's going on.
Yeah, we all know that, but you're not seeing the emphasis, the try. Because how do the Constantine have soft goals and that is it? You ain't telling your two centre back what happened to all your you just give a ball in it and it just did.
Well, the way I look at that is that even the manager is laid back. Now, I don't blame Frank for. I mean, we have managers who lose their mind on the side, right? So they want to kick things. Sarri, Pelton, Bottle, Mourinho used to just totally lose it. Yeah, right. But we know about those types of managers, but we also have managers that are fairly relaxed and
charismatic.
Okay.
I look at that question.
When we look at it, it is obvious that Frank wades into them off the pitch. At least I get that impression. That in the dressing room, he does open his mouth. And to my mind, that is the place you want him to open his mouth. Because losing it on the sideline might be more of a distraction than an encouragement to do the right thing.
Because I remember after in the last FA Cup game, when we was down, Barkley came out and said at halftime, he waded into them and told them, you don't deserve that badge on your chest, and probably tell them there's a waste of time or whatever.
So,
in the second half, we saw a response.
Right.
Yeah, but that is normal dressing room talk, But I would say Frank Lampard play under the most greatest coach in Europe.
Right.
And basically, a manager is good as his team. Look at Simeone for Atletico Madrid.
Yes.
You all know Simeone gave in his playing days. Everything, all out.
Yeah.
And Lampard play under some of the greatest coach managers in Europe. And to really transit as a manager now and to show that you play under some of the greatest managers in Europe and your players play without heart, without desire, is a reflection of the manager.
So you feel, Vivi, that what we are seeing is actually a reflection of Frank?
I will say per se, but full season. We have like full season. You know what I'm saying? But Frank is very inexperienced also because like certain games to make on the field or during the game changes. He could look at the end, he had like he just lost. You know what to change or not.
Now why would I ask you that? Go ahead, Real.
I want to add show something add another dimension. You have to remember too, if we step back a few seasons where sometimes we had the player revolt where players. I want to go back as far as Costa. I won't go too far back, but let's go as far as Costa. The nucleus of the team.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So the nucleus of the team, these guys revolt, and then the manager changes, and then the next season, obviously Chelsea go on and win the title, right?
Yeah.
But what you've had is that these guys have faced adversity, and they knew how to bounce back from even a loss. Even when things were, I think it was safe to say when Chelsea knew they were like 1 or 2 down, those fellas knew how to shut it off.
Yeah,
and they just shut it off, and that was the end of the game.
Game done. Game done.
Exactly. So that you have a new crop now coming up from the academy. This crop that coming up from the academy now, they are now learning that trade. Because yes, I understand it. Listen to me. They are overachieving. They have overachieved.
Correct.
I think
Correct.
Aaron mentioned it.
We overachieved.
Right? They have overachieved. And I remember Victor, who is also on the chat as well, to Victor tell me, say, real boy, I don't think fellas making top 4. And then just to see today's performance, I say, boy, today I could see, I don't think we will finish 7th, but it is a real possibility that we will not make top 4.
This defense. We saw Rudiger come on today.
Madman.
And just prove to us why he has been sitting on the bench.
I honestly feel it's nothing to do wholly with the players. It's something to do with the coaching also.
What Rudiger did today, trying to clear that ball and set it.
You see, them things Rudiger wasn't doing before this season.
No, but what did Rudiger do? I mean, okay, all right, hold on. Let's be real. Now, Keon would know me personally, and you know I a fella like I'm a stickler for a certain standard, right? So when we talk about a defender at Wassa FC or Queen's Park Rangers in Trinidad,
or
right? or Caro, or Tobago, Buko, or whatever. We expect to see a man standing up in the post with a beer in his hand and that kind of thing. But when you're talking about Chelsea FC, which is a top shelf club, top flight club, when you bring on a defender at a time of crisis in a game where you're 2-0 down, and that defender literally sets up an assist for the striker of the opposing team after being sidelined for 2 games running. What do we do about that? Now, everybody's talking about him being pivotal to bring in Timo and him being pivotal to probably bring in Kai. He is the German agent.
He's an agent? He's not defender, he's an agent.
Well, maybe he should put on a tie and sit down in the office by Marina.
2 things. We need to change our defensive coach, and we need to bring in a leader.
Yeah, but what
leader
leader?
Back to Marshall them fellas.
So let each of you guys give me one suggestion. Who can we go after? Who can we go after in the transfer market this season? Who can we go after?
Okay, well, basically, I feel, God forbid, we're hoping Bournemouth get demoted. We bring back Aki. Bring back Aki. Our gamble on Zuma tomorrow, and Sir Christensen, and hope Rudy can play a good defensive midfielder.
So outside with Aspi, all right. Vivian outside with Aspi.
Yeah.
Royal, what you think?
Yeah.
That's tough, boy. I think I would agree with some parts of what Vivi said. Rudiger as a DM.
Now let's keep money team. Let's keep money team. Agent Rudy.
Agent Rudy. All right. Here's the thing. I think, and I have mentioned this in the group, I am not sold on the Kai Havertz. Not that he's not a good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm just looking at the chemistry of the team and whether or not whether or not it would really, if it will either add or just confuse everything, right? Just so my thing is this. I would go for DM. I would keep Christensen. I would keep Christensen. I would keep Zuma. I would keep what's his name as well? Rudiger.
Tomori, yeah.
Tomori for me might go back on loan. And Reece James is a promising project. He's promising.
Yeah.
Aspi will definitely go.
Yeah,
Aspi is definitely going. And Alonso, I'll tell you something. I may be one of the Chelsea fans that are a bit different where Alonso is concerned. Alonso, in the right system, Alonso could be a lethal left back.
Or left wing back.
Left wing back, right. So you could understand so that or left out.
Well, that's the thing. You don't know what you will get with Alonso. You don't know what you'll get with Alonso, but he seems to fit in well with.
Interesting thing is that Sheffield didn't change. Chris Wilder.
No, that was the system championship.
Chris Wilder is actually a lot like Sarri. He doesn't change.
Yeah,
that striker that he had, he has been playing now and has never scored for the club until he came up against
25 games, and this is his first time he scored.
Right?
Yeah, but you know, I don't contact cross, but the most amazing thing was Sheffield, and I am a company old school. I was believing a good old-fashioned 4-4-2. Sheffield play with two strikers.
Well, I guess that's why that's why we went for Timo.
No, but I think after today, that will be debunked because remember he did bring on Giroud. And even with Giroud on, Tammy still had a stinker. So
but
you see, to me, Giroud and Tammy is almost the same type of strikers. Tammy can't play off at Giroud like how.
Nah, boy, Giroud is a post up.
Yeah,
Giroud
but Tammy can't play off.
And Tammy is not.
Yeah,
no,
but Tammy don't have that finesse to play off at Giroud like how last season Giroud used to be passing it to Hazard and them fellas. Tammy don't have that. No, we don't have that. That is what we now have.
Yeah, but remember this post-up game is an art now, you know.
Yes.
You can call how strikers in Europe, in fact the world, can actually play with the back against the goal. Drew is one of them. It might be lethal. And to play two strikers now, you come back to the York and Co combination.
Yes.
Somebody had to be willing to drop back in the midfield to pick up the ball or hold up the play.
And Tammy don't have that. That is it.
Yeah. A lot of the defensive woes that we have had for this season is not so much the fact that it's just the defenders bad, you know. When the play breaks down in that second in the middle of the park, and you don't have quality defenders to really assess the play, it becomes apparent of how inefficient they are. So if it is we could really have another person who could really read the game, like for instance, I was liking Kovacic in that role as a DM, right? He was doing some real good work, running on, chasing the ball, you know, but again, we had to get numbers there. I mean, you can buy a Kai Havertz, but it's not going to help us, as you say.
One player, according to our defensive midfield right now, this next season, is Mauritian Savage. That is a beast for last year.
Hold on. We're talking about these guys, but don't we have a guy who is a very good defensive midfielder on loan right now?
Who is that?
This young man, I am forgetting his name, little Rasta boy that we have, who is on loan.
Oh, Ampadu.
Yes. But I think he injured. Are he injured?
No.
He injured again.
Yeah.
So he in Germany with Dortmund, so.
Dortmund, long term. Long term.
He out. But he need a little more experience, but he good.
I think very this young boy, the little Scotsman that we have, he's Gilmore. Billy. He's very, very stable and he's very, very, cool on the ball, very confident. We go after these big names.
To me, with all the young talent we have, I still think we need experienced players around them because it's tips and traits at the game that they need to be taught. You can't teach everything in training.
They need a proper I would
right?
on that.
And that is why I say,
I think that study.
In that defense, I mean, I's an Aspie fan, but I find this season Aspie not leading at all. In that defense, we need a leader. We need a leader in that defense. With the Kai Havertz thing, in a game like today, is where we needed that Kai Havertz. And we have plenty of somebody to help break down that play. Because when you're defending 10 against 10, 10 defending against it, you need somebody to help break down. Mount can't get that. Oh, nice Pulisic playing, he can't get that. Them is wingers. He just tried Mount in the middle.
What's something, before...
we need our Fabregas.
Okay.
I was watching a program yesterday with Fabregas on the internet. I interviewed. And he said when they was playing against, I can't remember the team. Costa run to the side and tell Conte, put on Cess.
Yes.
And he said, within no time, Cess come on and set him up to score. Yes, sometimes you need that type of midfielder, somebody to break down the play. You can't always go down the wing, they'll block you.
Yeah, but being a midfielder, you must have that to die. You come like when you doing engineering drawing and something like that. You see that to die for that play, and that synchronizing with your striker is
you need a relationship.
You need a relationship, and I have to say, Sammy won't get that, and our midfield Barkley won't get that because every time Barkley have a game, you also add good and bad. You got sort of good, and in the last 20 minutes, toots.
Right.
And so we need a solid midfielder, and then now the question is Kante.
But what I want to highlight, however, is the reality that we are a team in transition. So Mr. Lampard has a huge job to rebuild this team. And somebody made a point on Twitter this afternoon. Very, very important point. This particular game or sequence of games has shown Lampard who he has.
Yeah.
I think that is very clear.
That is why he say he learned a lot today. He say he learned a lot today.
Yeah, but Lampard learned himself too because the games he lost is similar to the ones he lost before.
But you see,
but he has the same personality.
That's the point. That's the point. And you see, Lampard can't go on the pitch and play the game.
He can't go and call Atletico and say, hey, give me Savage, I'll give 50 million transfer market close. So when we had to see the moves he really make, he asked to make because you know the manager kind of toothless in our club now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had to see what he asked for now.
But only one thing I wonder right now is that this additions coming to the club next season, if Lampard will be able to manage his players to get the best out of them.
Why not? Why not? He got the best out of Derby. Did you all see those games Derby would play? When you see Derby attacking and pressing, if we had the Derby team playing today against Sheffield, we might have won that match.
Yeah, we pressed today. Look at that. Look, we didn't.
We was pressed on.
We were pressed on. We were the iron board, right? Yeah. So what I'm saying is, you see, we talk about Frank Lampard as a manager and maybe inexperienced and so on. But Frank has a style of play. He needs the players, as Keon would have said, he needs the players to back up his style.
Yeah, but I won't say the players, I was 50-50 to that. Because to me, Lamps are younger players. And basically it's a blank slate. You could program them to play your game. Program them and tell them
so easy.
Easier said than done.
Not so easy. I'll tell you why. Because what you have happened, listen to me, this season is really a season of two halves. Yes, there has been inconsistencies, but we have had some coming out from that restart, boy. Whoa. We have played some brilliant football and played some real horrible football. I'll tell you this much. When the ban was lifted, I remember talking to another Chelsea fan and he said, boy, I ain't sure that's a good idea, because those guys were motivated. And I'll give you an example. When we played against Ajax in the Champions League,
that was the best
I never thought in my wildest dreams, even with 2 men down,
never thought that them fellas would have found a way to come and claw back and draw. And possibly would have even won if they didn't rule out that 5th goal.
Right? Yeah.
So it showed a different level of hunger.
It showed the Chelsea mentality of play.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that you have, Kepa won under scrutiny, and then you have players watching and realizing, wait a minute, they buy Werner, you buy Ziyech. Wait now, what really going on here? Now, there are 2 sides to this thing. One, it could either improve the play. The players could look and say, no, I am going to improve my play.
Yeah.
Right? And when I improve, and which is what's supposed to happen.
That's right.
What also happened is what Vivi mentioned. So Vivi mentioned that before. So he said, look, mentally, these fellas and them, they're showing how weak they are. Because if you can realize to step up competition, which is why Pulisic for me, I would go as far as saying Pulisic is not just only the best player at the restart of the after COVID, after this lockdown. But to me, I would go as far as saying Pulisic is the best player for us for this season. You know why? He has had to face adversity of not being played by Lampard, and then have to find a way to claw his way into the time.
Yeah,
and as soon as he starts to show the performances, he gets injured.
Now he's showing first. Well, people might cuss me, but he's showing real American mentality.
Yeah,
where don't give up. Then he crying not just he crying our country on the back, because if he make it in Premier League, it might take another 5 years for another American player to make it there.
To come in and
No. Yeah, talent.
And you are able to see whenever he scores, it is in his DNA.
Yeah.
That he enjoys scoring for